What's going on, guys? We are back with another video. This is the fourth in the series of 5, restarting or starting keto, how to do it, an easy way, the blueprint for doing that. So in this video, we're going to talk about the first few weeks of doing keto.
What it could look like.
So the first big thing, I think, is going to be supplementing with electrolytes.
Something we did not really do.
Yeah.
We drank like 2 Gatorades a day.
It's pretty pivotal because without it, you will just get headaches. You'll feel really fatigued. You're going to feel pretty fatigued anyway, but like it'll just be a really miserable experience. You need to supplement with electrolytes.
Yeah, and that experience itself might deter you from continuing on.
You're going to need magnesium, potassium, sodium you can get from salt, but you can look up recipes online of just like keto electrolyte mixes. There's some supplements you can buy like pill form. There's sport salts.
Pure Planet Sport Salts.
There's Zip Fizz is good. It just has caffeine in it, so you can't really like drink a ton of it. Basically, you want to be getting potassium in the form of powder typically. If you get the potassium pills, they're limited to 99 milligrams, so you can't really get enough using those. So some kind of powder, usually they'll make them where one serving of the different powders or electrolyte mixes is almost 1 gram of potassium. And then you also need to drink more water and add salt to your food, salt to your water even if you want to, and get some kind of magnesium supplement too. I will put some links down below if you guys want to check out. We have a blog post on it, and we also have like a resource list of the things that we use for this. Another big thing is, in my opinion, some people will differ on this. I think you want to totally disconnect from your old realm of dieting where everything is like a struggle. You're really counting calories. You're trying to eat as little as possible. I think you should eat as much as you want. Keto-friendly foods. It's not going to feel good because you want to punish yourself and lose weight fast, but this is going to set you up for long-term success. You're going to feel hungry a lot and you've eaten a ton of food. It's probably just because you have like a mental hunger for some kind of different texture or flavor, like something sweet, something crunchy.
Or maybe you haven't eaten enough fat.
A good way to go about it, in my opinion, is you just eat as many calories as you want, and it's probably going to be more calories than you were previously eating.
Sure.
Because the food is more calorie dense. So if you're eating like 1,500 calories a day, you'll probably end up eating like 2,500 calories a day for some period of time. This is going to automatically correct itself over time. So this gets back to the whole thing where what is the best way to restrict calories? Is it to actively restrict calories by counting them and eating less? Or is it to passively restrict calories, which is a new term I just invented, where you eat keto-friendly foods and over time your calories are passively coming down?
Yeah.
That sounds easier, doesn't it? If you just fight with your psychology a little bit and you master the idea of like long-term, slow and steady progress, that's hard to do. Most people can't do that. That is what's going to get you where you want to go. Where most of us are thinking short-term, quick, things I can do. That's why we view diets as like a 2-week thing and then you go back to normal.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of change that whole paradigm. You want to make improvements to your normal.
Have a new normal.
Have a new normal.
So the next thing you might want to add into the first few weeks that I still do up until this day, 5 years after starting, is meal prep. So meal prep is just when you pick a day out of the week, pick a couple hours, and you prep some food that's in the fridge all week long so you have something to turn to when you're hungry. For example, hard-boiled eggs. We do hard-boiled eggs all the time. Just cooking up some ground beef, so maybe you can add it to salads, add some veggies to it later. You can do breakfast casseroles. We do that very, very frequently. And so having something on hand when you're hungry will prevent you from going to the easy prepackaged snacks that you might have in the house because your kids or your husband or wife eats these things. You may be the only person doing keto in the house, and that can be very difficult. But having meal prep, having some foods that are ready to go in the fridge, or having some keto snacks that you bought, like Quest bars, Quest chips, just keto snacks on hand will make it a lot easier to stick to it and be consistent with your diet.
Some other things to consider is, when are you going to cheat first? How long should you wait before you do that?
So what I usually like to say is that should not be the first thing on your to-do list, right? You want to start the diet, you want to get acclimated, you want to feel comfortable and feel good about where you're at, and then maybe think about, when is the next big event coming up, or when would I like to just take a little break and enjoy something I haven't had in a while.
Yeah, a lot of these things are you just got to know yourself. Like, are you the type of person who does well with more of like a moderate approach where you cheat every once in a while, but it's like, a reasonable cheat? Or are you the type of person who, if you just do keto really strictly for a very long time, like I know some people, they're like, I started keto and I didn't cheat for 4 years. I guess you got to just kind of figure out what's going to work best for you.
Personally, though, we stayed keto strictly for about 3 months, right? I would say.
Probably, at least, or longer. I don't know. Probably longer.
I would give myself at least a solid 3 months, and then I would decide from there. Like, do I feel really good? Do I want to take a break and see how it feels? But giving yourself that solid foundation to become fat adapted, I think will benefit you in the long run when you do decide to maybe have some drinks or maybe have like a little carby cheat meal.
Some other problems people have is going out to dinner with friends and stuff and drinking. And it's not as hard as it seems. Every single restaurant you walk into, you'll be able to get a keto-friendly meal. It's not that hard.
Meat and veggies.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. You're not going to look like a weirdo either. It's not like some crazy order. The only time it might be kind of tough is like an Asian restaurant. And even then, you just have to get like steamed chicken and veggies and stuff. They all have pretty much like steamed menus.
It's sad, but it's doable.
So it's not that hard. And with drinks, it's also very simple. You can just do liquors. You can do low-carb beers, although most of them suck. You could do wine. Just not like crazy cocktails and stuff, I guess, would be off limits.
Yeah. And when it comes to ordering wine, we just ask the waiter what's the driest they have, and they won't steer you wrong.
Another thing is when people are starting different diets, they like to really work out extremely hard too. It's sort of the cycle that we go in, like the motivation cycle. We're very motivated some of the time. We're doing our diet, we're doing our workouts. And then some of the time we're doing neither. And there's really no middle ground. So I think it's a pretty decent idea to start with diet, probably the foundation of your health goals, your fitness goals. Focus on that. Scale back the workouts. Maybe go on walks in the sun. That's a perfect, easy workout to do when you're not feeling really like doing much.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be tough to lift weights if you're usually lifting weights for the first couple weeks. So I would just say, again, a more moderate approach. Focus on the big one thing you're focusing on, which is changing your diet. And do a little bit of a workout, because changing your diet is a lot of stress.
Yeah, on your body.
And working out is also a lot of stress on your body. So you want to get one thing conquered, and then you can start adding in new things.
Yeah, and it may be hard for a lot of you because a lot of people work out. That's like a daily meditation type of thing for you. But focusing on the long term is what's important here. So a couple weeks of like lighter, moderate exercise isn't going to kill you, or like you're not going to lose all your muscle. Trust us. And I think the final big thing that we often forget about until we're presented with it is social situations or your family asking about your new diet, asking you why you're doing this crazy thing, telling you you're going to die or have a heart attack. Oddly enough, that's what comes to mind when people hear keto, right? It's so popular now. But for me, what I found as a simple approach to tackling this issue is just tell my family that I'm doing no sugar and the diet that I have started makes me feel really good. It's something that new that I'm trying, and that I'm just going to stick to it for a couple weeks or a couple months and see how it works out for me. Because your parents try to force feed us Oreo pie all the time.
All right, guys, that is going to do it on this video for the first few weeks when you're starting keto. Hope you guys are doing well. Stick around for the last and final video. Thanks for watching.
Bye.